Hello, we are back with chapter 5. I call it facet 5. And this chapter talks about operate in the right timing. And I just love to start with how I like to teach my children when it comes to cooking. Having the right food, having the right taste, having the right meal, just have it right. I get excited when I teach Amy and Dora about cooking. I teach them about enjoying it. I teach them not to rush. If it's a vegetable, you want to make sure you have the right temperature. You want to make sure you take your time. And also my mom always tells me, Dorothy, you got the heat too high. And sometimes I do that because I want to take a shorter time. I want to rush into it. But then you miss that flavor. You miss the taste. So today is all going to be about timing, operating in the right timing, and enjoying the moment of your time, the season. And we want to talk about challenges. We want to talk about when it comes to you, the way God has created you. We're talking about your lane. And when I talk about opportunities, when to take opportunities, when not to take opportunities. So we're going to hit some of those areas in these chapters. It might not be exhaustive. That's why I'm encouraging you to have the book. Most of it is in the book. And again, I am joined with amazing women of God with me, and on my right I have thank you so much, and
Veronica Onyango.
All right, we're just gonna jump into it.
Yes.
And I want to start with Vero.
Yes.
I call her Vero, and on the quote it says, the value of every moment. When it comes to time, operating the right timing, I like the way you are so strong in relationships, building stronger in relationship. And I want you to talk a little bit about that phase of those who are single, and how they could consider their timing in doing things, and how they related to themselves, and also how their mindset on carrying out their lives at that particular season. Let's start with you.
Yes, I would say that just the way we tackled, there's something we talked about in the earlier chapter about phases of life, and they keep coming and going. When we look at the single, or rather people who've not come into marriage, they have a lot they can explore and enjoy. For example, when I just finished my Form 4, in our country, we've been running through the 844 system, but now there is another system. When I just cleared my Form 4, I thought, what was I going to do? Because during that time, especially girls, you are just you're just there. You might not even know what to do. And at this time, if you don't have the right tools to put into place, you're likely to fall into a trap. And I went to my primary school and I volunteered. And I told the head teacher there, I can teach. Just give me subjects that do not have teachers. And they gave me and they paid me. And I saved part of that money. I saved it. In fact, I joined a chama. There's something in Africa they call chamas.
Like an association?
Yes. And
a club?
yes, and the end of the month, my mother introduced me to that group. So I kept on saving and saving. By the time I was going to the university, I bought my own phone, I bought my own things, I did my own shopping. Nobody did it for me. And I could say I was enjoying it. When I came from campus, that opportunity was not there.
Yeah.
I didn't sit down because we were staying in a tea plantation area. In fact, I went and asked them, can I till the land around there? And they gave me an opportunity. I didn't look at the fact that I'm from campus and that is a dirty work. You see, money does not know dirty work. When you are hungry, the stomach needs food. And so,
That's very true.
yeah, and so coming to talk about our single life, it's good to enjoy, because you realize that it is in this century that our young girls start getting worried about getting into marriage. It's good, but before I get there, am I prepared for it? And when I'm in this singlehood, what am I doing? This is the time to enjoy. I will say it, the time to just explore all things that are around. Yes, build yourself. Maybe
Equip yourself.
equip yourself. What did you do?
Oh, I did a lot. I remember when I was in high school.
Yes.
And I was just born again. So I had the opportunity to attend almost every conference.
Yes.
Almost every youth conference that I was able to afford,
Yes.
I would go. But now I can't do that because I've got a responsibility in the ministry, you got the family.
Yes.
So there are certain things that you cannot do, like if you are married, that you used to do. You would have more time
Yes.
if you are single,
Yes.
and then you are able to pursue if you put your mind into it.
Into it.
Yes.
At the
And
right
then,
time.
and then I really like what you said.
Yes.
Like during that time, because you had the time, you were even able to do things. Maybe now you would say that, oh, no, I can't do that. Yes, you tilted the land.
Yes.
You went into farming.
Yes.
As hard as that was.
Yes.
But you had the time. You had the time to learn, and you had the time to put into it.
Yes.
So I really like it. I really like the way you put it. When we are single, we have more time to do things. What would you say about that?
Very true. When we are single, we have all the time, we have all the energy. Our body is structured in a way that it can bend and do everything
Yes.
swiftly.
Yes.
That's another advantage of when you're
You're young.
still young. Yeah? I remember when I just finished school, I didn't just sit. There's this phrase that an idle mind, a devil's workshop.
Yes, there was
When
workshop.
you're young and you don't engage yourself in doing things,
Yes.
you are the very person who will find yourself always doing the wrong things.
And receiving ideas.
Yes, because you're idle. I remember I could make juice and sell in a market and employ my siblings. Yeah,
I like
pay
that.
them.
Yes.
Yeah. Simple juice, just this, we call it cola here. You know, just getting water, mixing it, chilling it, and selling it. There are so many things you can do as a young person. You can go to volunteer somewhere. In that volunteering, you will get lunch.
Yes.
Yeah, and get bus fare. You've not borrowed.
You've not borrowed.
Yeah.
If you're doing nothing, you'll go borrow lunch to eat.
Yes.
You can't stay hungry.
Yes.
Unless you're fasting. So if you're not engaging in doing anything, especially the ladies, you just go to a man and buy lunch, and nothing is given free. You men can attest to that. Nothing is given free. So if you engage yourself in, if you give yourself your singleness enough work to do,
Yes.
you will not regret it.
Yes.
You will not be bored.
Yes.
And you will not regret.
Another thing, you're building yourself.
Yes.
You're building yourself. You are knowing who you are. So when the time for that marriage reaches, you will not go there not knowing who you are. You will enter into that marriage fulfilled, knowing
Yes.
that I'm coming here
Yeah.
to do this.
Yes.
But if you just lazy around and do nothing, when you enter there, you will still find nothing to do.
That's
And
true.
you'll be useless.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I like when you talk about building, you are equipping yourself.
Yes.
You are gaining skills.
Yes.
As you volunteer, there's a skill that you're going to learn. As you volunteer, there's something that you're going to gain.
Yes.
So that is an extra skill you're adding to yourself, and you're building up your portfolio, and you're
Yes.
building up your skill set.
Yes.
And then you are equipping yourself even to be even better in the marketplace.
That's true.
So it's adding to yourselves. I remember Dr. Shallua volunteered to be, when when he just finished high school, he volunteers like you did into teaching. And even later on, when he graduated, he's a professor. So he started equipping himself through volunteerism.
Yes.
So it does add a lot of skills, and because you have time, use it. Don't be an idle person.
Yes, I could even wrap it up by saying pursue, look for scholarships. You know, when you are in marriage, even if you got a good scholarship opportunity, you have a family. There are several things that hinder you from pursuing your goals. You can get more skills in vocational training colleges. I love talking to girls when maybe they come from families where they are house girls and there are people who can do the family course, but they have a skill they will want to pursue. It is that time you can just go to that nearest college. You love cookery, pursue and learn how to cook Spanish food. You love embroidery. You can learn so much and explore because you have all time around.
Yes.
Yes.
And at that time when you can pick a mentor, we talked about that. As you volunteer, as you engage yourself into different activities, it's also easy to know who can also mentor you into your own career.
That's true.
So it is during that time.
Yes.
But I also want to talk about operating in the right time when it comes to business. You have done a lot of contracts, you have done a lot of business ventures, and you know this concept that there are times you can be too slow or you can be too fast. And they both come with advantages and with disadvantages. But we just want to concentrate on operating on the right time. I want you to give us maybe a testimony, an example or something just to drive that home.
Thank you, Doctor. When talking of operating at the right time, when the concept comes to you, when you have the vision, that is the right time. And when you start like procrastinating, you miss the opportunity. It is jumping out and doing the right thing. Map what you want to do, the steps that you want to take, and start doing something. It is the right time, that we agree, all of us. Start doing something. You're never too early, you're never too late. When you have the vision, step out there, follow the right steps to go into this dream that you have. The goals that you want to reach, start them. Immediately the vision comes to you. It's never too early, it's never too late. You're never too young, neither are you too old to start. Yes?
That's perfect. So we say, I wrote something in the book which said, stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for the perfect time. We have people who make excuses, we have people who want things to be perfect. Like, I want you to give us an example of that lady with a salon. She had a beauty shop, right? And you had to encourage her to start. Talk about that, because it seems to me like she was waiting to have everything perfect in order to get this business started. But how did you encourage her and how did you help her to see how to start? And then you even encourage her to see this is the right time. Give us that testimony again.
Thank you, Doctor. This lady had just given me a story of her life, what she wanted to do with herself. This is some time back. So, in fact, just yesterday, when I met her, I found out from her, what are you doing right now? She expressed to me she's doing nothing. So I went back to her story of the saloon she wanted to operate. Mind you, she told me she has the dryers, she has the steamer, she has the roller, she has everything she needs for a saloon. She even has a space, you know. So when we are beginning, she gave me reasons like she wants to repair the place and she wants to do this and do that. I found myself looking at her like somebody who wants to be perfect before she starts. So I encouraged her to wake up this morning and fix the dryer and start operating. I even gave her, even if one person walks in and washes the hair and dries, that is around 2,500 Tanzanian shillings.
Yes.
That is enough for that day and enough to encourage her to move on.
Yes.
So as we are talking, if she could be looking, she has opened it's never too late.
Yes.
And you will never say you want to put everything, in place. I have a testimony of how we began our business. I said we had every paper written down. We had the name of the company, we had registered with every registration that is required. Everything was in place, but there was no business for quite some time. But we never gave up. The idea came now, let's volunteer. The volunteering I gave is in the flat that I live in, a flat of 8 people. We had been disturbed by mosquitoes and mice. We call it rats.
Yes.
In fact, in my own apartment, they ate like a row of my t-shirts. In my own...
In your own house?
Yes, in my own house.
Okay.
But this was a problem. But I have the solution.
Yes.
Yes.
So what I did, I came out. I solved the solution for everybody. As we speak now, there are no rats in our apartment.
Wow.
They never visit even our apartment. Because now it's not only done once, it's done regularly.
Okay.
But
so do they now pay?
now they are paying.
Okay. But
Now
you
they are
started
paying
as
volunteering,
Okay.
and they saw that it is possible. I don't know how long they had lived there with that problem, but when I went out to solve the solution and volunteering, I just told them, can I do this? I am able, I know how to do it. So they allowed me. I went ahead, trapped the mice, did the fumigation for the against the mosquitoes, and that's it. So I am paid to do it quarterly by them.
Okay.
You see?
Yes.
And then from there, I remember again, we went to another restaurant in town. Also had a lot of issues with the mice. That place we used to get breakfast in the morning. Most of the time we used to get breakfast there because my children were schooling very far. And after dropping them, I wouldn't want to go home. I was waiting at that place. So sometimes mice would pass 1 or 2. I also volunteered to help him. When the mice died, it became my contract.
Wow.
And from there, I got another one. So it's never too late to start. When you get an opportunity, use it. Find a way to start.
Yes.
Not always volunteering, but you can even tell them, I am good at this. Give me a try.
Yes.
Give them a course that is reasonable. Start. Knowing that you will do something good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in your line. And that's how we started. Remember, after registering and staying for a long time without doing anything, not getting any contract, not getting any work to do, but just that step of going out. So people start talking about you. Go to so
Word of mouth is very powerful.
Yeah. Word of mouth.
Wow. I want to come back to you because we want to hit on this issue of operating on your lane.
Yes.
Meaning, don't copy others. Don't go on the pace other people are going. And I liked you to talk about it because you have children and you are not afraid to say, look here, you will come to my house. Sometimes it's not going to be the cleanest house. Because you have just understood how to be you and how to operate you. Like I have 4 children, I have 4 little children. Yes, I'm a writer and I do business, but I'm going to do it my own way. I'm going to do it my own pace, and I'm just going to stay on my lane. I want you to kind of like drive that home to somebody out there who's being pressurized to do what other people are doing, especially as women, because sometimes you will find those super women. You know, sometimes we call ourselves that we can do multitasking. And is there a thing as really multitasking sometimes? But I really want you to drive that point home on how just to be you and to operate on your own lane as we are talking about operating in the right timing.
Yes, thank you very much, Doctor. Some time back, I loved listening to a certain lady. Let me not mention her name. And she was encouraging ladies a lot to venture into a number of things. Of course, even biblically, we are encouraged to go out and do something. But I wanted to hear about what was she doing? Who was she when her children were younger?
Yes.
And one time she happened to speak about it. And she said that when I had my children in that younger age, I didn't do anything. My life was about these children.
Yeah.
I didn't have a maid. I didn't go for a number of activities. There are a number of things I sacrificed. Then I came to learn that if I take you at what you're talking to me at that time, I might lose my me. That means I need to do that thing at that time that needs me.
Yes.
If I'm going to rush and do what so-and-so is doing, I will be jumping from my lane and start going to her lane. And you know, if you've been watching athletics, you will see that everybody, especially the 100 meter, is very fast. Even if you're fast and you jump from your lane and you go to somebody's lane, you're disqualified.
Yes.
In fact, you're disqualified from that particular race.
Yes.
And it means that I have to maintain my lane, even if I am slow, according to people. But in my lane, that is where I'm supposed to be
Yes.
at that time. Only that I'm not supposed to block my ears and eyes from what's happening. If there is something I can do, yes. But if it is training me, I should not please someone for me to be in that particular position. Because what happens, I've been to conferences where this person will tell you, have time with your family or have time with your children. Tomorrow, this same person will tell you, go out and do this and that. So you have to gauge.
Open a business.
Yes, open a business. Do this and that. So if I am confused, if I want to please the speaker, I will drop my children. And tomorrow I'll be in the market. By the time I come back, those children again, where I've dropped them, something messy happened.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. One time, there was a training that was going on. This is my area. I really love it a lot because it involved training children and talking to them a number of values. With my 4 children, I left them with the house girl. That day, I don't know what happened. Things got out messy. For the first time, I called home. I usually never call. And my son was crying. When I went back, I knew it was something to do with that duty which I left, rushing to something else at the wrong time. And so I just called that other lady who had wanted my services and told her, for now, let's hold on a bit, something is messy. So what I want to encourage someone is move at your pace. Don't look at your peers. Most of the time you will have a call, hey, so-and-so, what have you done? They'll tell you, I've built a house, I'm doing this, and you are like, what about me?
Yeah.
What have I done? And so when the devil can bring in those negative thoughts until you feel you are not competent enough.
Yes.
Yet it is not your time.
Yes.
Stick to your lane. Stick to your lane. So long as you are doing the right thing, I'm sure you will reach there. It doesn't matter how long.
Yes.
When it will take time, because it says the vision will surely come. Even if it will take a long time.
Yes.
I believe. And I keep telling God, I know that before I die, I will have fulfilled my vision.
Oh, wow. That's powerful.
Yes.
Before you die, that book will be out.
Yes.
Before you die, the second edition,
Yes.
whatever books God
That's
has put in you, I also believe will be finished. And for you, women of God, business women of God, I truly believe before you die, those contracts that you are seeing, the vision God has given you for the business, I truly believe God is going to help you to fulfill it. Now, we got to stay in our lane. Every purpose, every vision, every idea has a lane,
Yes.
has a pace.
Yes.
That's what you've been talking about. Understand your pace. If you understand your pace, then you will not be pressured by other people. And it is that pressure sometimes that make us do bad things or make wrong decisions. We want to take risk. It's okay to take risk. But if you take a risk because you have been pressurized and you have not calculated your risk, it's going to make you lose money or do things which you were not supposed to do. So always let us remember to stay in our lane as we are pursuing our vision and as we are operating in the right time and then also in the right pace. Everybody has a pace. So stick to your pace. I want to talk a little bit as we are coming to an end about excuses and then we also have the other side of spectrum that there are people who want to see everything perfect before they jump into an opportunity. You want to open a business, you want to start a ministry, but you want to make sure that everything is perfect. Does it work that way in the real world? I don't think so. And then we have other people who want to procrastinate. They will say, I'll do it tomorrow. Am I speaking to any one of us in those areas?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I will do it tomorrow. I will write that book tomorrow. I will go to that tomorrow. I will do just tomorrow. Everything is about tomorrow. But it is said, tomorrow never comes. As we are coming to a close of this chapter, I just want us to bring in our take on those, either procrastination, excuses. If whatever you have to say about that, you have a testimony, you can throw in and we'll bring this to a close. I will start with you.
Thank you, Doctor. Excuses and procrastination normally makes us not reach our goal. You have no excuse. So long as you've got the vision, you have no excuse. We talked about money is not everything. It is you who is required in this vision. That is one key important thing to always remember. When you tend to procrastinate all the time, I will do it tomorrow, I will do it tomorrow, you will get lazy and you will never accomplish anything. I will do it tomorrow. Tomorrow I will do it tomorrow. Or you feel like I am not good enough for this. Yes, the vision has come to you, but you look at somebody else. This can be done better by so and so. That's also very wrong. Because the vision has come to you, the ability is in you. What we want from you is to take that first step. Yes. And you can do it. Yeah, most of the businessmen we talk about are not learned. Even the very, very big ones, they are not learned. But the vision that they had, some had the capital, they had to employ the right people. But there's something I want to bring in here. You know, this starting small is very important, and God has done it that way. When He was giving the children of Israel the land to capture, He was giving them small by small. Yes. Why? He said, if I give them all this, the wild animals will consume them.
Yes.
So it is small by small. You start small so that you can learn what to do at what time, how many staff to employ, who is the best for this. You know, there are so many things you learn when you start small. So don't fear starting small. Don't compare yourself to anybody. If you have time, follow that person you are really admiring. Ask them how they start. They will give you their story. They started small. So starting small is the key.
Whoa, that's loaded. That's really loaded. Right here, I'm learning, I'm taking this in. Starting small is the key. What would you say as we are coming to the end of this chapter?
Yes, thank you very much. I think what I've come to realize, as they say, the more you read, the more knowledge you get. And sometimes you might think that you know it all until you read another book.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you might feel that it's over until you are encouraged when you come across a given good article. And I think my take home from this particular topic is that I will wake up and start. I will stand and start. I'm not going to wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow will not come.
Ooh, that's powerful. Yes, as we start, we'll start small. We have no excuses. We will not procrastinate. We don't have to wait for everything everything to be perfect, every line, every dot to be on order. We're not going to wait for that. If it is to write a book like Sister Vero here, she's writing while she still has her children who are small. Yes, it's not going to be every day because sometimes she's busy with the children. But she will do it whenever the opportunity comes, the time comes, she does it. The children are not the excuses. She's still continuing to write. As for my sister here, she is a diaspora and an immigrant to this country, but that is not an excuse. That is not a limitation to say she should not do what God has called her to do. And that applies to Dr. Shallua and I. We did a lot of things in the United States, and it could have been, we could have said we don't have the accent. We could have said we were not born in America. We could have said we don't have the resources, or we don't have the, we could have said so many things. We were also immigrants in that country. But we started with what God had given us. It was very small, and for us, it was the time that God had given us. It was the skill that God had given us, and it was the vision that God had given us, not anybody else. We walked on our lane, and because we had kids and because we had other jobs, we only did on the pace that God had given us. We did not look at big universities and say, let us run 1,000 courses, 100 programs. No, we started with one because that was our pace and that was our capacity. And as we're coming to an end, let me encourage somebody who is starting slow. You will always grow as your capacity is increasing. As you increase your capacity, you will always have enough to receive more. You will always have enough to receive more blessings, more businesses as your capacity is increasing. So I encourage you to continue taking action, increase your capacity, and you will see how God is growing you. This was an amazing chapter. I've had amazing women of God here, and we have come to an end. And I just want to thank you who is coming along with us to review and to read this book. And I am here with a woman of God. Her name is
Jacinta Ubado
and
Veronica Onyango.
And I'm Dr. Dorothy Shallua. Until next time, God bless you.